Are you finally ready to book your first cruise, but you have no clue where to start? How do people book a cruise? I'm here to help you by showing you all the steps that I take when I book a cruise. Ahoy, travelers! It's Amy with Cruising from the Ozarks, and I'm here to help make your travel experience a success. Be sure to subscribe and hit that like button so you don't miss a thing. What are the main tools I use when booking a cruise? There's two of them. It's going to be the cruise line's website and a website that shows deck plans for whatever ship that I decide to book. Well, we're going to do a mock booking, and in this instance, we're only going to focus on one cruise line instead of what you might normally do is look through several cruise lines for the best deal during your time that you are wanting to actually vacation. So we're going to assume in this instance that you already have an idea when and where you want to cruise. I usually start out with a time frame of when I want to cruise and some idea of where I'd like to cruise to and or from. So for this video, we're going to look at cruising during the first of the year, 2024, leaving from Miami on Carnival. Once you learn how to do this mock booking process, you can do it for other lines and compare deals. So we're going to use Carnival. It has the most intuitive site in my opinion. I've mocked bookings on most of the main sites, and Carnival does seem to be one of the easiest ones. So what is a mock booking? It's the process where you actually go through booking a cruise right up until the point where you would have to reserve it or pay for it. If this is your first time on the Carnival site, then you can choose to do part of a mock booking without creating an account, but it's free to do so. You're going to need to have one before you can finish booking anyway. You can see I'm already logged in up here. This is going to give you your loyalty number. For Carnival, that's a VIFP number. It stands for very important fun person, because they're the fun ships. You'd want to keep that number saved somewhere, your login information saved somewhere. Once you log in, it's going to remember your VIFP number, but it's good to have that saved somewhere as well. Since we already know where we want to leave from, we will start with the plan menu and choose Find a Cruise. The next step is to choose where you're sailing from, and you can see all the different locations that Carnival will leave from. So everything from Spain to Australia. We're choosing Miami, Florida. Next, we're going to narrow it down by date. We're going to choose January and February of 2024. I do like to take a break in the winter from the Ozark weather. It's very unpredictable. Our next step is to choose how long of a cruise we want to take. You can see there's quite a few options here out of Miami. Now, I prefer a 7-day cruise. I've been on a 5-day. It's just not quite long enough for me. So we're going to do 7 and 8 days. Sometimes you can get a good deal on an 8-day cruise. And that's going to narrow us down to Miami, Florida, January and February of 2024 for 7 and 8-day cruises. The fare shown is for one person in the cheapest cabin available. It's going to be an inside. It's going to be one that you don't get to choose yourself. This cost is for one person, but it is a 2-person room. So if you sail solo, you will have to pay for 2 people. Keep that in mind. Price is affected by many different things: the time of the year, the ship, the itinerary. Summers and holidays are always going to cost more, and newer ships are also going to cost more to book. As you can see, the 7-day itinerary on the Carnival Celebration actually costs more than these 8-day itineraries on the Carnival Magic. Carnival Celebration is Carnival's newest and biggest ship. It just started sailing. The Magic is a little bit older ship, and so it's a little bit cheaper. It's also a little bit smaller ship, which can also affect that as well. The Magic is a sister ship to the Dream. It's part of the Dream class of ships, and the Dream is my favorite ship that I've been on so far. I'm going to go ahead and choose one of the sailings for our mock booking on the Magic. It's one of the cheaper ones as well. But bonus, 8 days. I actually prefer the ports of call on this Eastern Caribbean itinerary, so let's check that one out. Sometimes you're going to have multiple dates to choose from, and they will be different prices, and gives you some flexibility to choose when you want to sail within that window you've chosen. You can see here there's only one date for this booking. The next thing is going to be choosing what kind of room we want. Now, I always choose interior because that helps me afford to cruise more than once a year. I'm a budget cruiser, but balconies tend to be the most popular choice, so let's go with that. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna actually hit select first instead of choosing one of these, and I'll show you. So now we are going to choose how many rooms we need and how many guests in each room. So we're just going to do 1 room, 2 guests. So the next step is to choose our state of residence. Really not sure why this matters at this point, and then if any of these apply to you, you'll choose that as well. You'll want to have your VIFP number if you have one. Different levels of loyalty can actually give you different deals. Never believe that original price that you see is how much you're going to pay, because even here we see the interior is now showing over $1,300 for 2 people when it was $500 per person shown, because it's added taxes and port fees. So let's choose our balcony. Now we see the different kinds of balconies we can choose from. You have cove balcony, your balcony room will be assigned, your regular balcony where you pick where you want to be on the ship, and the Cloud9 spa balcony, which obviously comes with this spa package, and then the aft view extended balcony. So you can see over here how much more each one's going to cost you. Now you could just choose the balcony and let it choose the room for you. You're going to save a little money that way, but I'm not a gambler. I like to make sure I pick the room that I want to be in. So we're not going to choose that. We're going to select here, and then we start seeing some of our offers. And like I said, these will sometimes change, or you may have more if you have a higher loyalty level. They've already got this one chosen for us, but we can go down and look at each one, how much it costs, and what the amenities are. This one has reduced deposits, $50 per person, tells you when the sale ends. This one is the half off your deposit. It is cheaper, but if you look at this one, your stateroom will be in the selected room type. So we're right back to where we were before, where they are choosing it for you. So we don't want that one. And this one says it's a choose your room location right here, but this one actually costs more. We're gonna go up, we're gonna stick with this one right here. We're gonna select offer and continue. Now we have to decide where we want to be on the ship. Back, middle, forward. This is where learning about the ship becomes important. This is where your deck layouts become important. I like to use the cruisedeckplans.com. There are several different options you can use, including Carnival's own site. They will have the deck plans. That's where these people get them. However, the reason I choose this, it's a little bit more functional. You can see things at a glance, and people have added photos and videos that you can help maybe get you a better idea of what the room looks like, what that area of the ship looks like. All you have to do is, when you search, you can just type in Carnival Magic Deck Plans and you will have multiple options pop up. So here we are for Carnival Magic Deck Plans, and on the main page for that, you're going to start seeing all the different room types. And we're going to go down to our regular balcony here. And this gives you some additional breakdown of different categories. But this gives you a basic look at what your balcony is going to look like. So you have your bathroom, your closet, a desk area, a couch, pull-out couch, your bed, which is either going to be a king, or you can have it turned into 2 twins. Those actually separate. And then your balcony. When choosing where you want to be on the ship, it's important to know what it is you're wanting to get out of your cruise, where you might think you'll want to spend your time on the ship. Are you seasick? Do you think you might get seasick? Is that a problem for you? So people who usually have issues with seasickness, they're going to book themselves something on a lower deck in the middle Some people choose to book somewhere in the middle of the ship because they want to be close to everything, kind of in between everything. You can either go down a few decks to get to the promenade. You're going to find like casinos and shopping, and then a few decks down you have your food and entertainment, and then you would go up a few decks to get to the Lido and the buffet, the pools, the pizza, Guy's Burgers, all this kind of stuff. It really does depend on what you want. And you may not know that until you've actually gone on a full cruise, but go ahead, explore the ship. You can look at these walkthroughs that people do. They post them on YouTube. You can get an idea of what you might want to be doing on this ship. So what I like to do is book a cabin near the upper decks. We tend to spend most of our time on the Lido or above, and then in the spa area if we're on a Dream class ship. In fact, oftentimes we would actually get a spa room. Where is that on this ship? Well, right here you can actually, this is actually this spa level. So if you have your spa level, you can see all the amenities here. You have your fitness center. There's all the spa balconies. You can look at pictures of them and videos of them, of what people have posted for what that room looks like. You can see other areas of the ship. There's even photos for those areas, and see what else is available. One of the other important areas for us, or especially for my mother, is the Serenity deck, and that's going to be way up top. Serenity deck is adults only area where you can go out. It's got its own bar. It's a little bit quieter area. It's got nice places to sit. These great clamshells. So my mother spends most of her day here. So let's look at the cabins close to this area. We can't book these unless we're booking a spa cabin. So we're going to go down a deck to the panorama. Do we want to book here? It's an option, right? But let's look into this. You have to remember that above this area right here doesn't just include the spa, but it includes the fitness center. So all of these rooms are going to be affected by weights dropping on the ground. I've experienced this. We booked one of these interior spa rooms before, and it was terrible. Like the dropping of people's weights, people work out way early in the morning, and it was horrific. So you have to be very cognizant of what's above you, below you, and to the side. So let's go back and let's actually look at the Lido instead. Now, if we're on the Lido, you can see we have rooms above us, rooms below us. That is ideal. You want a room above you, a room below you, and rooms on either side. You can tell which direction you're facing here. This is going to be the front, right? And this is where we're looking at. This is the area we're going to probably focus our attention on. You want to be away from the elevators. You wouldn't want to book anything right here. This is a high traffic area. This area people are coming in and out of very frequently. Also, if you book a room very close to the elevator, yes, you're close, but everybody that has a room back here is going to then walk past you. And some of them are going to do it at 2 o'clock in the morning drunk and not talking quietly. We would prefer usually to probably book something closer to the front of the ship, but that's up to you. You have to make these decisions. What's going to work best for you? So we're decided probably somewhere in this area, not too far front, but not too close to those elevators. So let's go back to Carnival. So we're going to choose forward, booking our cruise. So we've decided we want the Lido. Looks like there's 2 rooms left. So let's see what they are. And it is going to be $40 additional. You can see with each deck how much more it costs to be on those decks. All right, so here we go. We have 2 to choose from. And personally, I'm going to prefer this one. It's a little bit further forward. I just like to be towards the end of a hallway, not at the beginning of a hallway. So this is already selected for us. Perfect. We're going to continue. And now we start seeing our cruise summary. Our cruise summary shows that we have an 8-day Eastern Caribbean, the dates, what ship. We have a balcony. what is our deal here, but we see how much it's going to cost each person. We have guest 1, guest 2, how much our taxes, fees, port fees are going to cost us. Prepaid gratuities, always, that's what we do. Got to make sure all the workers are getting a little bit of something. And then you can choose whether you want to do vacation protection through Carnival or if you want to do it outside of Carnival. You do want vacation insurance. That's not a question. Something happens, you don't want to have to pay tens of thousands of dollars. Add your vacation protection. I'm going to add it here just so we can see how much it was going to cost us. It's pretty comparable. It's usually a little over $100 per person. And then you would choose state of residency. I'm not going to do that. It's not going to change anything. So we see how much it's going to cost each person. And now we have our total and what our deposit is for the day. You can then hold this if you wanted to, and then maybe you wanted to look at a different line, see what they had available. You could continue if you were ready to book your cruise. I hope you found that video helpful. And if you did, please consider subscribing to our channel. We're new, trying to make a headway in this because I really do have a passion for helping people, for doing a lot of research when it comes to this. So we'll be doing more videos similar to this on picking out a cabin, using your deck plans, how to look for the perfect itinerary, and more.